Alright, here we are about 24 hours since I completed brewing the beer, and here you can see, if you look at the airlock, they were getting a little bubbling going on. So the yeast is active in here right now. It's breaking down the sugars of the malts and converting that into alcohol. So in about 7 days I'm going to check the specific gravity of the beer and make sure that that number is getting closer to what it should be, about 1.07 or so, and then the next step will be bottling. So looks like everything's doing real well so far. Alright, it's been 5 days since we had the beer in the primary fermenter. It's been about 2 days since it bubbled last, and so I'm taking that as a pretty good sign that it'll be okay for me to start the secondary fermentation. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to transfer the beer from the primary fermenter into this glass carboy right here, and going to use this as my secondary fermenter. Going to let that sit for about 5 days or so, 5 to 7 depending, and then I'm going to bottle it. So as of right now, got everything just about ready to go. There's the carboy on the ground, here's the primary fermenter, and I got everything sanitized and cleaned. This is the auto siphon, and just about ready to begin siphoning this beer. Alright, right now I'm going to take the lid off and see what we got in here before we start siphoning. There goes the airlock. Alright, here I got the lid off the fermenter, and it smells pretty hoppy. It smells how I expect an Oktoberfest sort of amber lager to smell. It smells a little bit cidery. I smell some fruit, mostly sort of apple scent, but there it is. After it's fermenting, you can see it's got some of the residue left, and there are some chunks floating in here, which are a little bit concerning to me. But we'll siphon this out into the carboy here, and see how it looks once we get it into the glass. Alright, now I'm going to take the auto siphon here and stick it down into the beer just a little bit below the surface. I don't want to pull the siphon off the bottom of the carboy, so it's important not to add extra oxygen to the beer. So I'm going to stick it in just a little bit, lower it down so I can get the hose to at least touch the bottom of the carboy from now. And we'll give it a couple of pumps here and see if we can draw anything. Alright, looks like it's starting to go. Now the auto siphon that I'm using has a cap on the bottom of it to keep it the bottom of it out of the sediment, so you don't suck some of the yeast cake up. But there it's drawing out, and here you can see it filling up the carboy. It's kind of, I wanted to make it so it swirled at the bottom, just so it didn't get a lot of dissolved oxygen, which can give the beer a bit of an off flavor. But you can see it's kind of well, it looks pretty cloudy right now, but it's got a pretty nice color to it, a little bit of a coppery color, which is pretty nice. So this could take 10 minutes or so to fill the carboy, but it looks and smells like we got a product here that, after the secondary fermentation and bottling, hopefully be pretty delicious. Okay, all the beer is siphoned out, other than a little bit at the bottom, but there you can get a good look at that nice, yeasty, delicious, pus, disease-ridden, well, cake at the bottom of the fermenter. And yeah, that's the wonderful byproduct that somehow I got to find a environmentally friendly way of disposing of. So. Okay, hello. Today we're going to be bottling the beer. This is Borat. He's going to help me today. He's my assistant. And here's the beer in the carboy. We're going to transfer it into the bottling bucket down here, and then stick it in the bottles, which I have 60 bottles full in here. This is sanitized and they're just drying now. And here I'm going to boil some of the priming sugar to put in the bottles. Okay, I'm going to start the auto siphon. So there's sugar that's in there. I poured off the stove in here, let it cool a little bit. So now we're going to drain all the beer out of the carboy here. Take a look at that color. So that's a nice amber color. That's what we're going for. So. And then after we get all this siphoned out, then we're going to use this the lid of the dishwasher to bottle all this, so we can show you what that looks like. Okay, here's our bottling setup. Just use the auto bottler here. Put some pressure on it. Bring it all the way up to the top, and then whenever you pull the stem out, it's going to drop the volume down to just about the right level. Just like that. Then you pass it to Borat so he can put the cap on it. Yep, and there's beer. So here's basically the finished product. I've got 46 beers, I believe, and have to wait 14 days until I can drink it. So it's going to be sitting in my closet, and pretty good chance that it's basically going to be all I'm going to think about for the next 2 weeks. But whenever it's all bottled aged, and hopefully we'll have some carbonation, hopefully the yeast reactivates, and if so, it should be pretty good. I'm going to be doing a review of it whenever I'm finished, and so you can look forward to that. And I just want to say thanks for watching. It's 2 pretty long videos, and if this helps you when you're making your own beer, then great, and if not, that's okay too. But I'm glad you watched it. I hope you enjoy.